Hey Ray, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this sloppy joe pasta in your Instant Pot. It is a very quick and easy recipe that is always a home run with my family. So let's get into the ingredients that you need. First up is a pound of meat, whatever you prefer. In our house we like the ground turkey, so that's what I have today. You're also going to need a 15-ounce can of sloppy joe sauce. I have the Aldi brand here. And then you're also going to need 8 ounces of cheddar cheese, whether you shred it yourself or it comes in a bag, whatever you prefer. And then lastly, you are going to need 14 to 16 ounces of pasta. My box is closer to 14, but 16 is typically the size it comes in. So here I'm obviously just getting the meat out. You want to set your Instant Pot to saute. Spread it around so you are able to sprinkle whatever seasonings you want on it. I am using Tony's seasoning. I probably ended up using about 2 tablespoons worth just because we really like Tony's seasoning on our meat. And then after that I went in with the onion powder and I probably put in about a half a teaspoon of that all over. As you can tell, I'm not really fond at measuring. I just kind of eyeball it, but I typically know what my family likes. And then lastly, I went in with the garlic powder. And again, this was probably around a half a teaspoon. These are just the seasonings that my family personally prefers in this dish. So, feel free to add whatever your family prefers. And then after this, I'm just moving the meat around, cooking it on the saute feature with the Instant Pot. You just want to make sure that you're not leaving the meat in one place for too long. You don't want any burn marks on the bottom of the Instant Pot. It'll create problems later when you try to pressure cook. And obviously you just want to go ahead and keep moving it around to prevent that. But also I did not add any liquid because, as you can see now with it actually cooking, there's a lot of grease at the bottom of it, and that actually helps later too. So I typically just make sure I'm keeping an eye on the meat, and I will let the grease kind of do the work for me to make sure that it's got enough liquid at the bottom of the pan. I'm getting the other stuff ready as the meat is cooking here, opening the can, getting the box ready for the pasta, shredding the cheese, stuff like that, entertaining a baby. You can't see her, but she's there. So here's where I noticed that my meat is done. I'm giving one more glance over just to make sure there's no burn marks, like I said, and now I'm trying to just evenly displace it at the bottom of the pan. That'll also help later as well. So then after you do all of that, you're ready to go in with your dry pasta and evenly put that all over as well. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. Just make sure it's not in some big pile on one side of the pan. You want to try and even it out if you can. So this is just me obviously dumping in all the pasta. And then after you get done with that, you're going to go in with your can of sloppy joe sauce and pour that around the Instant Pot as well. And once you get that poured in, you're going to go ahead and fill up your can. And you are going to want to bring the water just barely above the dry pasta. As you can see, I ended up trying to make 1.5 cans work, but I ended up just dumping in the full 2 cans worth. Here I'm patting down the macaroni, not stirring, very carefully, do not stir anything. Just poking down the macaroni, making sure I need as much liquid as I poured in. Our family likes our pasta on the drier side, so for that reason I just try to add the least amount of water as possible. So as you can see, all the macaroni is underneath the water, but it's not overflowed. So this is where you're just going to put your Instant Pot on, make sure that the valve is on seal, and then you're going to want to pressure cook it for half the amount of time that's recommended on your box of pasta. So mine was 4 minutes, I set it for 2. You leave it alone and you'll come back. I forgot to take my keep warm feature off, so I shut that off, and then I just quick release. It's very important with pasta that you do that. That way it doesn't get all mushy inside. So here is where I'm going to finally open up the Instant Pot, and you will get your first glimpse at the pasta, just double checking that it was done. And the steam does go away on the camera here in just a few seconds, so bear with me. But here I'm just stirring it all together because the meat is down at the bottom. Obviously you're going to want to incorporate everything and bring it all together. So here I'm just pushing it around. The grease from earlier from the meat helped the pasta not stick together in big huge clumps. The sloppy joe sauce and the water helped obviously cook the macaroni. So this is just me mixing it all together before you're going to add in your cheese, because once you add in the cheese it's basically done. And after I mixed it for just a couple minutes, I realized it was pretty good to go, and that's when I just dumped in all the shredded cheddar cheese. and you're just going to want to go ahead and mix it around for a little bit. It takes like a minute or two, but it'll eventually incorporate, and it's so good, guys. My family loves this dish. It's so easy, so quick. You can use 2 cans of sloppy joe sauce if you really love that flavor, but my family just likes it with one, and I think it's great even with one. So if you make this recipe, whether it's on Instagram or anywhere, just please tag me. I'd love to see what you guys think of it. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.